Imagine 60 people packed into the back of a refrigerated truck, believing they were finally about to reach the promised land after a grueling 4-month journey. But they had no idea that the driver had just sealed off the only air vents. In the end, 58 of them never made it out alive. Only 2 survived. What's even more tragic is the sheer distance they traveled. These people came all the way from Fujian, China, trekking through Russia, the Czech Republic, Belgium, and the Netherlands, only to lose their lives just miles away from their final destination, in the UK. The masterminds behind this operation are known as Snakeheads. That's the term for the notorious human smuggling syndicates that operate in China. To recruit people, they send local agents into small villages. These agents act like they've struck it rich abroad to lure families in, promising that earning money in the West is easy. But the price of this dream was staggering. Each person had to pay between $25,000 and $35,000 US. Now, remember, this was back in the year 2000. That kind of money was an absolute fortune for a working-class family. Most had to borrow heavily or sign away years of their future labor just to afford a spot in that truck. The final leg of their journey began on June 18, 2000. A refrigerated truck loaded with tomatoes pulled out of a warehouse in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Among the crates, 60 people were huddled in the dark. 56 men and 4 women, some as young as 15. The driver, a man named Perry, pulled over at a rest stop near the port. He told them, "We're almost there, stay quiet." To make sure no one was heard, he sealed the main ventilation vent from the outside. Then, he made a second fatal mistake. He turned off the truck's refrigeration system. He was afraid the noise of the cooling engine would attract attention from port security. He thought the crossing would only take a few hours. But that day, the port was delayed. What was supposed to be a quick trip turned into a 6-hour ordeal. It was the hottest day of the summer, with temperatures hitting over 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside that sealed metal box, the oxygen was running out fast. As the heat rose, panic set in. People began desperately screaming and pounding on the walls for help. But refrigerated trucks are built to be airtight and soundproof. To the outside world, that truck was silent. One by one, the voices stopped. When the truck finally arrived at the port of Dover in England, customs officers decided to do a random check. They noticed the truck was newly registered, and the fees had been paid in cash, both major red flags. When they opened the doors, they were hit by an overwhelming, heavy scent of tragedy. As they cleared away the crates of tomatoes, they found a scene of total devastation. Among the dozens who had passed away, 2 young men, Sue and Kay, miraculously moved. They were rushed to the hospital and survived, likely because they were positioned right next to the vegetable crates where tiny pockets of air remained. This tragedy shocked the entire world. It exposed the dark, heartless reality of human smuggling. The investigation led to the arrest of 12 people. The driver, Perry, was sentenced to 14 years, while the other ringleaders received between 6 and 9 years. For many, these sentences felt incredibly light for the loss of 58 lives. 7 months later, a plane carrying the remains of the victims landed back in Fujian. For their families, the golden dream had turned into the ultimate nightmare. The photos these people had taken for their fake travel documents were now being used for their funerals. The story of the Dover 58 is a haunting reminder that the shortcuts promised by smugglers often lead to a dead end. Even for those who do make it, life as an undocumented migrant is often spent in the shadows, working dangerous jobs just to pay off the debt to the very people who put their lives at risk.